Spider-Man Brand New Day just added Liza Colon-Zayas to the cast. So she is from The
Yes.
Bear, and I'm super excited about this. So what her casting tells us about the film's tone might be a little more heavy Miles. We've heard from
Mm-hmm.
Feige and them that we are getting Miles, and we heard from Sony that we are getting Miles
Can't
soon.
wait.
We didn't get no timeline on this, but man, this is a great sign to possibly direct this
Yeah.
in that way, because we've already had
And
so
doesn't
many telltales, and hints towards it. I mean, Donald
yeah.
Glover and Homecoming. There's been
Mm-hmm.
Feast, from No Way Home.
Yeah. Oh, and if they do not bring Glover back to be Prowler
Oh
at
yeah,
some point for Miles, like how can you not do Miles without Prowler and have him be
right.
Prowler?
But I
Yeah,
do think that this is a really good way, if it is going to be a new trilogy,
mhm.
to
Yeah.
start that and make it a little bit different, make Peter a little bit more grown up, more responsible. He is the mentor
Yes,
this time. Like
yes,
I actually think that that's the best route to go to make people actually trust in Peter,
Mm-hmm.
because one of the biggest complaints that I've heard about the first 3 Spider-Man movies were he always had a babysitter.
yep.
And
Needs somebody to hold his
so
hand through
making
everything.
him responsible for somebody else for a change.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's now the person that Spider-Man's going to for help.
Yeah, I
he's the
agree.
new
But I
Robert
think this
Downey for
casting at
Spider-Man.
least says that he's going to be teased in the movie
Yeah.
at the minimum.
I
Has to
also
be.
think it would be good synergy if they had Tom Holland wearing sweatpants over his suit at some point, talking to Miles for the
Okay,
into
let's
the
not go Peter
Spider-Verse.
B. Parker.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying like that's good synergy of
Fun
making
fact?
it all look
That was my very first cosplay, Peter B. Parker.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way I would comfortably at
Mhm.
my
But-
current size be able to do a
But this
Spider-Man cosplay. Let's
casting,
cover up this.
she looks perfect. She
She
looks
does.
like Miles.
does.
Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and then also we hear so many people
like
they're
her.
like, oh, she might be a little too old to be Miles' mom. Listen, they went different route in MCU. We've had a way younger, attractive Aunt May, in the
Which
MCU,
I loved,
which
and
I love. Yeah,
it
so
never.
they don't have to
Yeah,
stick to the
I
age.
don't. I don't know why I never thought about Aunt May being able to be younger because she's an aunt, and
Yeah.
my aunts and uncles are really close to my age.
Uh-huh.
Like they're like 10 years apart from me, the oldest one. And so when I first saw Aunt May as cast, I was like, oh yeah, I guess aunts can be young. Like it doesn't have to be an old lady. I guess
Right.
that
We're
makes
just so
sense.
used to seeing it throughout the years between animation and comics, though,
Exactly.
But-
I
And I
love
think
that
that's
take.
one of the changes that I don't think anybody complained about.
Yeah.
And with Rio Morales, I do not think it is important for her to be younger.
No.
I don't think that has any
I don't either.
characteristics,
No.
especially if she's running for any political offices or anything
Yeah.
that she's
Right.
been known to
That's
do.
true.
I think she should actually present more mature.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I think this is, especially because they felt it important enough to announce it
Yeah.
as
Well,
its own thing.
and on that, piggybacking off that, Miles's dad is a seasoned cop.
Mhm.
So
Let's have this 22-year-old.
yeah. So it kind of makes sense that she is in that age range because
Yeah.
surely the Miles's parents don't have a huge age gap in their relationship. I wouldn't
Right.
think. So yeah, she probably would be around that age.
I
'cause
just,
he's
I
an
just,
older,
it
veteran
needs to be
cop.
her. It needs to be her. I don't care what
Mhm.
anybody says. This is who
It needs to be, or we want it to be.
Yeah. Because like,
It
if
needs
Marvel
to be.
doesn't make her Miles'
Yes.
mom, Marvel's messing up. I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
I think people will riot out of the theater.
Yeah. Oh no, I think you're right. Well, I mean, like, also, like, man, I love her character on The Bear too, though. Like, God, I love The Bear.
See, I
Y'all
haven't
watched
seen
The
it.
Bear? Oh,
No, I
I have
have
not.
you are missing
unfortunately.
out. You are
I-
missing out.
I've heard.
Put it on the list. And also, you get Cousin, who's playing Ben Grimm, Eben Moss Baccarat,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
love, like the crossover memes you're seeing. It's like the thing, wearing a apron or whatever, like from The Bear, and
Yeah.
they're calling him Cousin. Like it's hilarious. But yeah, I love
I
it.
mean, they also cast that main actor from Shameless as somebody in Star Wars. So
Oh
who
yeah,
knows, maybe we'll end up seeing
Jeffrey
him in-
or Jeremy Allen White. He's playing
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt's son.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought was weird. They picked him to play a CGI Hutt, which I don't. And Hutts
Yeah.
don't talk English on top of that, so I don't know where they're going
Yeah.
with that.
I mean, maybe
Maybe
this one-
maybe he'll be two different characters.
I mean, there has
know.
been Hutts in like that species has spoken English, I believe, in the comic books and stuff.
Oh,
before,
really?
So
Okay.
maybe this one will. And I also am really weirdly excited to see a buffed up
Yeah.
Hutt, just because I think it's gonna look weird.
You just get Jeremy Allen like Misa, like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't have
But
to say no more. I'm already excited.
yeah.
So I mean, usually when they cast one from a show, it seems like they cast a lot from that. So who knows? Maybe we'll
Right.
see him
With
in the MCU
casting,
as well.
I want to hear from Blake. I hear enough from you. Who do you think Sadie Sink is?
I want to
Speaking
see
of
it.
Spider-Man casting.
I don't think she's going to keep the red hair in Spider-Man. I think that's too
No,
obvious.
that's-
I think
You
I
mean
don't,
an actor with
I
either
want to
hair?
see
What?
her as a I want to see her as a Felicia Hardy.
I honestly think that that's at least close to the route they're going to go. It will kill me that gorgeous red hair is going to not
Right.
be on display.
Yeah.
But anybody thinking that she's going to be MJ is just we'll call
I don't think we will have a Mary Jane Watson in our MCU.
Correct.
I just don't think we'll get
No,
one.
I don't
And
either.
I will
has
say
passed.
this,
She,
like kind of like how
Zendaya
y'all
is our
Yeah, well, like how y'all were saying too, with the route of Peter and bringing in Miles. As much as I love these characters, I'm okay with us throwing Ned and Michelle Jones off to the side. I mean, like it's going to be a big loss. It's going to be a big lesson to learn on that mature decision he made. If you go back to where he makes them remember, you kind of took away the weight of why they, what the decision he made. So maybe bring Ned back into the trilogy toward the end as a hobgoblin. That'd be kind of cool. But other than
I
that,
would love to
That's
see
kind
that.
of the only way I want to see him back.
Yeah.
So bad, actually.
Other than that, leave them off and bring in some new cast. Bring in some new people in
Well,
Peter's life. Let him
A
not
hobgoblin that can use a sling ring.
Oh my god.
And that would be tech and magic too, honestly.
Oh, yep,
So
there we go.
It's kind of getting into the thing.
As somebody who has never cared for tech-based characters, all of these characters getting magic
But
buffs, I'm all for it.
How much would that hit Peter if his best friend Ned became a villain after he cut him out of his life?
It would be so deep. It would be so emotional.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because Hobgoblin has magic. Like from the comics, he's into magic with the tech. So like it just makes sense. But let's bring in like Felicia Hardy. Let's bring in some other people from the Spider. There's so many well-loved characters. Like, and I've been dying for a live action Black Cat for a long time. Like I love that character from the 90s animated series. I love every time they cross paths.
Yeah.
So we're not doing a restart, but I do like I hope we're doing a fresh start.
Yeah.
Like I think that was the point of his last movie.
Yeah, and if we are bringing in Miles, let's get Felicia in here real quick before we say bye to Peter.
Right. Yeah, well, I would like us to never really say bye to Peter, but after by the end of this next trilogy, kind of fade him out into the background to where he comes in and out as more of a mentor on down the road.
Exactly.
And then focus heavy on Miles after this new trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah, because I love Tom Holland. I love
that
Spider-Man. I love Tom Holland.
That's my favorite Spider-Man.
I don't think he'll ever fully be gone.
Yeah, I don't need to see him fully gone. We will focus more on Miles at this point. So if they introduce him.
I also think a big point of that is outside of Marvel, Tom Holland has not been successful in other media. And so I think that that's another tell that no matter what happens with Miles, I think Peter's always going to be there because Tom Holland wants that money. And
he's old enough to become the older Peter that we see throughout. We've seen the stories told with older Peters.
And that's
he's
what
at
I
the
want.
age where he can do this forever. I mean, he really could.
Yeah, he is. It's perfect.
Till he's 90.
And honestly, they ship Gwen more with Miles nowadays in the comics anyway.
True.
So with the fact of him not being tied to Gwen, that would make sense to save that character for Miles.
Yeah.
And not introduce her for Peter, because I know there's rumors of her being Gwen as well.
I'll say I would love some live action Gwen. However, I got some opinions on her being with Peter or Miles. I don't want it.
I can tell by that face you made.
Well,
by comics, I didn't say.
As somebody who collects Gwen comics,
okay.
In my head canon, the end game for her is Earth 65 MJ.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right.
Like there has been there's been some tension, and I don't know if it hadn't just been friendship tension.
Well, right now she's messing around with a villain named Tarantula.
Let's say I need to catch up on like the most recent run, but no, her and Earth 65 MJ. I know that in the comics they currently have no plans to bring her back to her home Earth, but
well, I'm just
that's
saying,
what I want.
like Into the Spider-Verse and stuff. She is very much shipped with Miles, so I say we'll introduce Miles, then we'll introduce her as a love interest. And
it's possible just because of how well loved the Sony Spider-Verse, animated series has been so popular, which is such a beautiful animated. I can't wait till this third one. Beautifully animated.
And we need more stuff to hold that fan base over because it takes 10 years in between those movies. So let's get some live action.
So
you're right about that. You're so right.
It just makes it easier because like this Peter doesn't have a tie with her.
I was gonna say
with Gwen Stacy. So it would be weird if like Miles started dating her or was any kind of romantic interest if we also did it with Peter. So
I just find it astounding that at the end of the day, what if we get live action Miles before we get the third Spider-Verse movie?
Oh my god! I'm gonna be honest with you, it wouldn't shock me.
Talk about
it wouldn't
delays.
shock me.
It would not shock me at all.
No.
We like get Miles introduced
like it better be the
like
best
an end
movie
credit
ever.
scene or toward the end of Brand New Day next year, and then like you said, I mean that'd be a full year before the last Spider-Verse movie because that's now 2027 that's been pushed back to, which is
as of right now
sickening. Which they're like, it's because we're trying to.
That's my final guess.
Yeah, I love how they keep saying like, well, it's because we're doing even newer animated styles, and we will make sure it's right. Come on, y'all.
Because it's taken so long, they've reinvented animation in between.
Right. But speaking of